Hey, Wemberg World Entertainment, and of course we had only done the video about the big update for the Batman Part 2 and what we were hearing about when it's going to film and stuff like that. Well, Matt Reeves has now actually said more about it and what the story is more so about, but also teasing what the villain and who the villain is. And of course, we're all pointing to, and you're seeing it in the thumbnail, Hush. And it does seem to be that is the direction they're going in. Because what he's saying is they're going to do a villain that's never really been done. And he means film-wise. So let's see exactly what he says. Because the one thing that I think we should appreciate with this is that all this information is coming from Matt Reeves himself. And I think that's a good thing because it means he's talking about it, which means obviously it's happening, it's getting closer to happening, and it's not just James Gunn out there spouting out a bunch of crap. It's coming from the guy who actually wrote it and who will be directing it. So let's have a look at this anyway. So the Batman Part 2 is slated to begin production next April, and writer-director Matt Reeves has now shed new light on his and co-writer Madison Tomlin's plans for Robert Pattinson's Great Crusader. Talking to Josh Horowitz at the Emmys last Sunday, Reeves revealed that the Batman sequel will be a Bruce Wayne story. As for the villain, it seems they'll have close ties to the billionaire, with the filmmaker strongly hinting they will be connected to Bruce's past. Right there, everybody's pointing on, it's Hush. It has to be Hush. So interestingly, Reeves also said that the villain is one that's never really been done in a movie before, leading to a lot of weight to those Hush theories. So this is what he actually said. So Matt Reeves said, well, it's funny because I had a lot of ideas, and then Madison Tomlin, who is my writing partner, we began the process of this by doing another deep dive into the comics, exploring the ideas that I'd had, and he gave me some of the ideas he's had. We sat together and watched a lot of movies. Honestly, not all movies are from the realm of Gotham. Just to explore where this story, I knew with the way the Batman ended, it was leaving us on the precipice. Also, the way events happen in The Penguin, there is an exploration to be had, and one of the explorations for me was to do something that pushes even further into the character of Bruce Wayne. Now, it's interesting that he's saying how much he went into the comic books and the movies to really kind of hash out these ideas, and the fact that he's come up with this idea of it being very much a Bruce Wayne kind of character story, and that the villain is connected to him, it really is indicating Hush is it. But he continues saying, the first story is so much about the Batman I always wanted in the movies, and let's say we got to make 3. I have no idea that I always wanted the movies to be focused on his character. A lot of the other films, which I love, once you get past the origin tale, then you start telling the rogues gallery story and that character's arc. I never wanted to lose Rob at the center of these stories. So that is what we really set our aim on. Picking the right villain that digs into what that does and goes into his past and his life. That was what drove that discussion. We're super excited about it, and I will say it's never really been done in a movie before. So everything he's saying there really does sound like it's Hush. And as this article is about to say, as we're about to see, they did kind of set Hush up in the Batman. So it's saying here, there were Easter eggs in the Batman pointing to Hush being Part 2's villain, though the Court of Owls also fits the bill. It's about time we see someone other than the Joker, Two-Face, or the Riddler on screen, so Reeves' plans to shake things up will be welcomed. And yeah, that is the case. Like, the one thing I think everybody was leaning towards after the Batman was, yeah, we definitely don't want the Joker again, and we definitely don't want that version of the Joker. And from what I understand, that has been dropped. there was kind of rumors that Barry Keoghan's version of it has been dropped. So I'm up for that. Now, of course, when he's talking about this and saying about it being a person in Bruce's past, obviously it leads to Hush, but then you have to ask the question, well, what's all this people still going on about Mr. Freeze for? Now, that's not to say the movie won't have multiple villains, much like the Batman did, and much like a lot of these movies do have now. But I still don't think Mr. Freeze is going to be in here, simply for the fact that it's too much of a fantastical character, and Matt Reeves has very much said he does not want to go down the fantastical route. And again, I do have to say this, the reason people keep thinking Mr. Freeze is there is because it's a winter setting. That's the only reason people went Mr. Freeze has to be the villain, which is weird. Hush being the villain makes all the sense in the world. And again, they really were setting it up in the first movie, to the point we almost thought that Hush was actually going to appear in the first movie. He didn't, but there was an article or something that even said Hush on it. I remember that distinctly. So everybody was like, oh, is Hush actually in it? And then Hush didn't, but then it was kind of the case of they have to be setting him up then for the next movie. And that does seem to be the case now. And he does seem to be confirming that. He may not be. You know, he could be talking about someone completely different. But overall, it does sound like Hush will be the villain. Or at least a villain. Again, there could be a few of them. The other question then, of course, is who do you get to play him? So, if it's someone in Bruce's past, and obviously they grew up together, you would assume it'd be someone in the same age range as Robert Pattinson. And what's Pattinson now? Is he 30-something? I'm not sure what age he is. I know he's in his early 30s. So, that's the type of person you'd be looking for. Not necessarily. You could go slightly older, but at the same time, I think they'd probably try and push for someone more in his age range, which I can't really think of a lot of actors in that age range that he is. But again, it doesn't have to be exactly his age, but at the same time, it would be a bit weird if, like, well, obviously it's not going to be a super older version, but you know what I mean, slightly older than him. Other than that, like, there's no other real information. I know Matt Reeves has been kind of saying, you know, they're getting asked about Robin being in it and stuff, and he pretty much is saying, like, you guys really will just report on absolutely everything, won't you? So he has kind of addressed a lot of that type of stuff as well. So it is very strange to see all these stories. So, like, it's saying appearing at the Emmys this weekend, the filmmaker was asked about reports that Robert Pattinson's Kate Crusader will find a sidekick in Robin, and Reeves acknowledged by saying, well, sure, you talk about everything. There's probably not any character that we didn't talk about. That could be this. What could this be? What could that be? That's part of the beginning of anything. So again, like, he's saying, like, we discussed everything, and you obviously hear some of it, and you just immediately run with that. So yeah, I don't think Robin's going to show up. If he does, I don't think he'll show up the way we think he will, but God only knows at this stage. But again, it does sound like they're hinting at Hush is going to be the villain, and this story is going to focus more on Bruce and the actual character of Bruce, which I think is a good thing, because that was one of the things a lot of people were kind of critical about in the first movie, was them saying, like, you know, interesting to have that much Batman. Would have liked to see and hear a bit more about Bruce in this world, but that seems to be the case for this one. So let us know what you think about all this. Are you excited if it's Hush? Are you excited that we're going to hear and learn more about the actual person of Bruce? It's interesting to me, so let us know what you guys think. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.